in South Texas means the beginning of the push to the USL playoffs. In week 21 of the USL championship season, a critical Western Conference showdown. San Antonio FC welcoming in Real Monarchs SLC. We have it for you on Fox Sports Southwest. And a pleasant good evening, everyone. Welcome upstairs to the broadcast booth. I'm Dan Weiss. It's great to have you with us. San Antonio FC back at Toyota Field, where they'll play 4 out of the next 5 matches. Coming off 2 very important matches on the road. They pick up their first road victory of the season last Wednesday in El Paso and play to a 0-0 draw Saturday night in Orange County. And head coach Darren Powell pleased with the results of his club over the last 2 matches.
Really pleased the way the players pushed each other, protected each other on the field. Just extremely proud of the way they handled themselves in some tough situations away from home, and the performances got results, and everyone feels more confident because of that. But bottom line is we still need to continue to improve, and there's lots of things we want to get better at and we'll continue to work on.
And as we welcome in Gabe Garcia to the broadcast booth, Gabe, for San Antonio FC over this 4-match unbeaten streak as they're on coming into tonight's match, 2 players have really been the catalyst for it. Matt Cardoni, who's been here since the beginning, he's given up just 1 goal over the last 4 matches and has really played some outstanding soccer in net.
Absolutely. Every great team has to have a great goalkeeper. Everything starts from the back. So having him back there, that presence, is fantastic.
You see Matt second among keepers, 59 saves, and he's made 12 of them over the last 4 weeks. Frank Lopez, just acquired last Monday from LA Galaxy 2. He scores a brace in his debut against El Paso, makes his immediate impact felt right off the bat for San Antonio FC in the number 9 spot.
Yes, from what I understand, this is a player who's very dynamic. He likes to get behind. He can stretch the game. He's really quick and fast, so I look forward to seeing this guy play.
San Antonio FC, as they sit 2 points below the playoff line coming into tonight's match, what's important for them as they return home and try to get over the hump to get above the playoff line here?
Well, a couple things. As the coach said here, they have confidence going into this. We're on a 4-game unbeaten streak, so now they're at home. We have a great record, so they got to continue this momentum with confidence and come out and put this team on their back foot, without a doubt.
Well, they're going to take on a Real Monarchs SLC club that is unbeaten in their last 6, 5 wins in a row before a draw last Saturday night in El Paso. Matt Cardoni will be up to the task against him. He has played some outstanding soccer for SAFC over the last few weeks. San Antonio FC will hope that the Beard is on top of his game tonight at Toyota Field. San Antonio FC, Real Monarchs SLC. It is a Western Conference showdown, and it's coming up next here on Fox Sports Southwest.
Two American icons are joining forces for a collaboration a century in the making. Budweiser and Jim Beam introduce the Budweiser Reserve Copper Lager, a rich lager aged on Jim Beam bourbon barrel staves with hints of vanilla and caramel rye, followed by a deliciously smooth finish.
Hi, sports fans. I'm Jeff Davis, the San Antonio lawyer that's here for you. Some of you might be watching this game injured after a terrible accident. Did you suffer broken bones or have to have surgery? I want you to know that Davis Law Firm is here for you. And if you call us and you need us, we'll come to you during this game. And then we'll fight for justice and demand the cash settlement you deserve. Call me at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. Now, before we go back to the game, don't forget, there's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
Do you know what optimism can do? Whatever it wants. We've seen it unlock resilience that makes the impossible inevitable, inspire generosity to put families back on their feet, and give Davids courage to throw rocks at Goliaths. At Frost, we believe optimism can change lives emotionally, physically, and financially. And with your help, we're going to prove it.
Hi, looking for a great deal?
Yeah, we just got a cabin in the woods.
You must be pining for a RAV4.
We just got he just got a boat.
Well, hitch yourself to a Tundra.
Yeah, Tundra. I got a job.
I got his stuff.
Well, you'll look like a boss in a new Corolla hatchback.
It'll fit your stuff.
It'll fit it all.
During the Summer Starts Here sales event, qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 72 months plus a $2,000 special edition bonus on a new 2019 Tundra Special Edition.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
Your player Jack Blake in the midfield, 5 goals and 28 matches now all-time, with Real Monarchs coming over from Tampa Bay Rowdies last season. For San Antonio FC, it is the home debut for Frank Lopez, who now has 8 goals total on the season. He is tied for 15th in the USL. San Antonio FC and Real Monarchs meeting for the second and final time this year. They played back on April the 20th. It was a 3-2 win for Real Monarchs SLC, coming back in the second half with 3 unanswered goals after Brian Gomez scored twice in the first 17 minutes. We are underway with Gabe Garcia, our entire crew. I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks for joining us tonight here from Toyota Field on Fox Sports Southwest. San Antonio FC 6-8-6, sitting 13th in the West, 24 points. Real Monarchs SLC sitting with a record of 8-6-4, 28 points, tied for 7th in the Western Conference. Gabe, just 9 points separating 4th through 16th in the Western Conference table as we begin play here in Week 21 of the USL Championship. An opening opportunity for San Antonio FC off the hop there on a near miscue from the back end early.
Yes, so we definitely have an opportunity to still jump back in the mix of things here with a few games left, or actually 10 games left, I believe, or 14.
14 games left, including tonight. San Antonio FC playing their 21st game of the season this evening. You saw Brian Gomez. He had those 2 goals in the opening 17 minutes in Salt Lake City back on April the 20th. And then things got really interesting in the second half. Real Monarchs SLC was awarded 2 penalties within the first 11 minutes of the second half to equalize the game before Kyle Coffey scored late in the second half, the 72nd minute. They earned the 3-2 win at home against San Antonio. Darren Powell sent off in that game in the second half. Obviously not pleased with the 2 penalties that were awarded in the second half.
To say the least, I did have an opportunity a while back to speak to Darren about that, and he felt like it was obviously unjustly served, but nonetheless, he tried to learn from it, so I think we owe this team something.
San Antonio FC has been outstanding at home with a record of 5 wins against just 1 loss, 4 draws. And all-time here at Toyota Field, 30 wins against 9 defeats, 19 draws. So it has been tough for the visitors to come in here. You and I have talked a lot about pretty much every team in the Western Conference finding difficulties to go and win on the road, and it's been no different for Real Monarchs. Just 2 wins this season and 9 road matches against 4 defeats and 3 draws.
Yeah, well, this is once again why we have to capitalize and win at home. And psychologically, teams know this coming into this house, and so that's a good, positive thing for this team. Once again, they have to continue to put this team high pressure as we're seeing here.
You can argue San Antonio FC tonight might have their best starting 11 in a long time. Jack Barmby is back in the starting 11 tonight for the first time since June 26th here at home against El Paso. He'd missed a couple of weeks with first a suspension off a red card. That was the last home match against Austin, and then dealt with a lower body injury. Brian Gomez had been dealing with a little bit of an injury bug as well after getting nicked up in Fresno last month too. So San Antonio FC playing a very strong lineup here tonight against a Real Monarchs SLC lineup that's gone through some changes here over the last few weeks. We'll get into that in a moment, as Lionel Atunde making the run. The young Cameroonian was featured on the Cameroonian under-23, under-20, and under-18 squads here over the last few years, as San Antonio FC will take the throw.
Yeah, I'm excited too, Dan, to see this starting 11. I would definitely agree with you. This is a really strong side for San Antonio. You have Pekka back. You have new player Frank Lopez, who apparently has had some 2 games. So he's what I would call a definite impact player. So I think we have a lot to prove even more here.
Jack Blake creates the turnover, finds Luis Palma outside. Palma cutting back inside here, and we'll switch the play. It's Michael Chang on the right side, gives it a go on the pitch, and good first save for Matt Cardoni. Michael Chang is Real Monarchs SLC's current leading goal scorer right now, 8 on the season, tied for 15th in the USL with Frank Lopez. Their leading scorer, Douglas Martinez, the 22-year-old from Honduras, is currently on international duty playing for the U23s for Honduras. So this is the second match in a row that he misses, and certainly a big loss up top for Jamison Olave, the interim head coach, as Billy Forbes. Offside flag is up on him making the run.
That's okay. That's a great ball. You can see Jack telling him, hey, that's fine. Yeah, this number 44, excuse me, Chang, you can tell he has a really quick, nice left foot, really quick release on the shot there. I was quite surprised. Very nice to see.
This is the second interim stint for Real Monarchs SLC coach Jamison Olave. He was promoted to the interim spot last season, May 29, taking over for Mark Briggs, who got suspended by Real Salt Lake. And then this season, taking over once again for Martin Vasquez, who promptly left the team on July the 1st. So Jamison Olave was actually done pretty well since coming on in an interim spot. He's 13-10-3 over the last 2 seasons, and brings with him a club tonight to Toyota Field that is unbeaten in their last 6. They went 5 consecutive wins before playing to a 0-0 draw last Saturday night in El Paso.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, Olave has a lot of history with this club. I can recall him as a player. He was a very good player in the back, very steady, very determined, very strong. So he's going to bring a grit to this team.
Barnby clips it in and volleyed on net there from Kai Green, and David Ochoa rather, making first save of the match. Ochoa, the 18-year-old keeper from Oxnard, California, making his 10th start of the season. He's got a record of 4 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. He's given up 13 goals in his 9 appearances, 3 clean sheets, and a goals against average of 1.44. He is one of 5 academy prospects that are featuring tonight for Real Monarchs SLC. Their Real Salt Lake Academy has produced a lot of good players coming from the mountain time zone district, I guess, between Utah, Arizona. They've done very well. Of course, Real Salt Lake, which has been a part of Major League Soccer for a long time, and have done a nice job of cultivating, of course, the youth of those western mountain regions, so to speak.
They really do, and it's I would say this whole club is really a club that's overlooked at all levels, to be quite frank about it. And you see Petke, the head coach of the first team, he is another player that brings a lot of experience to the club. So this team is good from top to bottom, and their club youth system has always been strong.
San Antonio is going to get the first corner of the match here after the foul outside. Mike Petke, by the way, has been suspended for tonight's match against FC Dallas, just up the road in Frisco tonight for... He was sent off, he got a red card in a League Cup game this week against Tigres from Mexico. He was not happy with the official after the match, and some great video. You can go back and look at it. A lot of choice words from Mike Petke to the lead referee after that match the other night.
I am not the least bit surprised, because he was one fiery player.
It's Jack Barnby on the in-swinger, and defended out. Barnby back with the ball at his feet will clip it across the 18-yard box here, and off Billy Forbes and played by Real Monarchs here. And Conrad Plua will send forward, and Michael Chang getting forward. And a great ball, sending it across. Luis Palma making the run back into the inside here. He's got Luis Arriaga moving forward. Look at Arriaga here now to the top of the 18-yard box, and Kai Green does well with it to clear.
So, Dan, that whole play started right there. That whole transition, that whole counterattack from Real started from a very poor ball from us, played in.
Forbes on the feed from Frank Lopez. Into the box, Billy Forbes. Great save there from Ochoa. And chased down outside there by Justin Portillo, one of the best midfielders in the USL. Upfield, Jack Blake volleys it along, and Arriaga will settle it down. Palma out wide. He's got some running room here. 19-year-old Luis Palma working back here with Jack Blake and Portillo getting forward here, settling the attack for Real Monarchs SLC. Here's James Moberg, right fullback. Will work with Michael Chang here by the touchline. Chang dispossessed of the ball by Ebia Khan. That looked like it went off Moberg. It did. And a throw coming up for San Antonio.
You can see the replay here. He obviously looks across. He's really no one in there, so you put your head down and strike it. It's really all he could do.
San Antonio FC has risen in notable categories. They are now tied for 17th in goals for, 28 on the season. They have dropped to 17th in goals conceded, 28. So now for the first time in a long time, Gabe, an even goal differential.
Oh, that's always a positive. The big one is the goal differential, and the conceding goals is really the big one. And yes, you have to defend, but also we need to start scoring even more goals, which has been our biggest issue the whole season, the whole year.
Just one goal conceded for SAFC in the last 4 matches. And upfield onside there was Gomez. Couldn't take it cleanly. Now he settles and spins back away. He had taken that one on the first time, then he might have gotten a free lane of field on Ochoa.
Wow, that's really good defense.
And a foul on Christian Pirano. Pirano's played some outstanding soccer here on this run. And I asked Darren Powell about the young 19-year-old before tonight's match. You know, what's the difference in his game here over the last month? And he said, you know, it's just been confidence for the young man, the transition. You know, he's still a young kid. He's, for the first time, playing in the USL, for the first time playing in North America. And even that itself is a major transition for a young player. And that comfort and that confidence certainly has been translated on the field here over the last few weeks for Pirano.
That's well said, Dan. It's very evident. Look, the bottom line, he's very young. His whole world has changed. Yes, he's a soccer player and he loves it. He's very passionate, but this is a player that can definitely change the complexion of a game, and he's going to grow. I believe he's going to grow even bigger before the season ends.
Pirano, who has played in all 20 matches. He is the only forward or midfielder who's played in all 20 matches this season for San Antonio FC, so that speaks a lot in itself for the confidence that Darren Powell and the staff have had in the young player from Aguilares, Argentina, who had only played 1 professional match before coming to San Antonio this season.
That I did not know is really incredible, to come here and play at this level. Even though you're from Argentina, still you have to, there's so many different things, the pace of the game, there's just so many different factors. For him to come in and do that speaks volumes of this young man.
We saw Darren Powell tonight outfitted in the pink. Tonight is Breast Health Awareness Night, presented by our partners at Methodist Healthcare and San Antonio FC. If you saw at the top of our broadcast, were specialty pregame kits that are being auctioned off tonight to benefit Texas Wings. An online auction at SAFC.com. Here's Billy Forbes, top of the 18-yard box. It's off Pirano after Gomez let it through, and I'm not sure Pirano was expecting that one to come completely through.
What a great presser. You can see it all started from a high press. What a great ball by Brian. You can see the replay here. Brian actually dummies this. What a great dummy. And he just didn't have his footing right.
So San Antonio FC creating some good chances here through the first quarter hour of this match tonight. San Antonio really has gotten on their front foot in their last few matches. Something else I asked Darren Powell about, and he said, no question about it, because if you historically watch San Antonio over the years, here at home particularly, they like to play a little bit more conservative in the first 45 minutes, try to let the game settle in, and then make their attack in the second half. Really hasn't been the case. They've gone for it with some early goals here to start the last few matches. Frank Lopez getting the goal in his debut in El Paso in the 8th minute to get San Antonio FC on the board a week ago last Wednesday for their first road win.
Well, that's the way it should be. We're at home. Look at this beautiful crowd, this stadium. As a player, if you can't get up to play this with, especially the record, we all know, the team knows, the opponents know the record, so that should give you some extra boost, some psychological confidence to come in here and want to play.
And the 4th and final match in the month of July for San Antonio FC, which so far has been a successful one, 2 wins and 1 draw in their first 3 matches, as Conrad Plewell will give it back to Ochoa. Ochoa will sky it forward. Ochoa out of the academy, native of Oxnard, California, just his 11th career match. But he has played in 9 of them here this season coming into tonight. He is their most experienced keeper. They've actually run through 5 keepers this year. Have Real Monarchs SLC.
That's
Yarrow. And the pass back there to Cardoni. San Antonio FC will keep play alive down here by the touchline in front of Darren Powell as Ebia Khan Jack Barmby clips it forward. Great ball, just a little bit beyond the reach there of Gomez making the run.
Excellent, but once again, look at Jack. His first look is forward, which is I love, and as a forward, that's what you want as a forward, for your players to always look. They're looking for you for those runs.
San Antonio FC lifetime, 3 wins against 2 losses, 1 defeat, or 1 draw rather, that is, against Real Monarchs SLC. Beat Real Monarchs here last season 4-2 on September the 3rd. Michael Chang, as he tries to fight his way through the defender, and it's back to Chang in the area. Great save, Cardoni got his right foot out on that after Chang got behind the back line. Now a ball in across to the top of the 6-yard box is headed out there, and San Antonio FC dodging an early bullet.
What a save. This is a fantastic kick save. Watch Cardoni how he holds his ground.
Palma as getting up but unable to bring it down there was Chang once again inside. Matt Cardoni, an outstanding early save. A lot of the pressure has been on Ochoa, who's got to go out and challenge Lopez, and then a little volley along by Gomez, finds its way in the back of the net, and San Antonio FC is on the board first in the 15th minute.
This ball, excellent. It's once again this ball by Jack Barmby, 45-yard ball on a string. Great presence of mind by Brian Gomez, just the first time that in.
Jack Barmby clips a great ball across that Lopez made the keeper Ochoa come out to make the play, and then it's Gomez. It's a simple little flip, and just past Kalen Rydon into the back of the Real Monarchs. Then San Antonio FC with the opening goal and a 1-0 lead.
But that's what we talked about, Dan, before the game, that Frank Lopez has that willingness to get behind the lines. That's exactly what we're talking about right there.
Brian Gomez's 4th goal tonight, his 16th match for San Antonio FC, and his 15th goal all time, and what is his 135th match. The native of San Justo, Argentina. San Antonio FC once again the opening goal. If you now go back in their last 5 matches, they have scored the opening goal or have played to a 0-0 draw in all 5 of them, and this is now the 9th time this season in 18 matches that they have scored first. But you see, in 4 of them have come in the last 5 matches.
You said it, Dan, and we have a very good record when we score first, so this is exciting, very promising.
So once again, an early goal for San Antonio FC. They're up 1 at home here against Real Monarchs SLC. Palma. Arriaga. Along with Luis Palma here now is Real Monarchs back into the middle of the field. Portillo and Moberg.
I like this Portillo. He's very creative. He likes to, he does not shy away from the ball. He's always asking for the ball.
6th-year player. He was voted as Real Monarchs MVP last season. Tonight is his 145th match in USL play. 21 all-time goals, and again, considered one of the best midfielders in the USL. 2nd year here with Real Monarchs.
It's very evident he exudes confidence.
Once again, Portillo will bring it down. He was brought over from Charleston Battery last season and then signed to a first-team contract with Real Salt Lake here in the offseason. So brought over to play for the USL side, and then, as you would like to see it happen, brought up, signed to a first-team contract with Real Salt Lake.
Yeah, it looks to me as this player has some promise here. You can tell, as a coach and as players, you just love a young player who just is always wanting to get on the ball. It's fun to watch. You can just tell, and his head's always up. He's quick at turning. He's definitely the playmaker, and they're trying to play through him.
Palma turns that attempt wide of goal there. Luis Palma, 19-year-old from Honduras, one of 3 Hondurans on the roster, excluding Douglas Martinez tonight, who we mentioned at the top of the broadcast is playing with the U23 side for Honduras right now on international duty. Luis Palma, though, playing with Douglas Martinez at CDS Vida in the Honduran First Division over the last couple of seasons, so they have gone into the Latin American ranks to try to bring some players into the Real Salt Lake system, and have found some very, I would say, better than serviceable players, obviously, in Douglas Martinez, who has spent time in USL before with New York Red Bulls, was part of that Red Bulls 2 squad that won the USL Cup back in 2016.
Oh, as a player, you know there's a lot of Honduran players that are very good. They produce a lot of good players.
A throw awarded here for Real Monarchs SLC. Guido Gonzalez Jr. is our center referee tonight working. His assistants Christian Lara and Ben Pilgrim. Joya Asadi is the fourth official for tonight's match. It's about to cross into the 20th minute. San Antonio FC on the board first. Brian Gomez, his fourth goal of the season of the 15th minute. Has the home side ahead by 1. Chang, as Barmby collapses with a con and San Antonio breaks out of the counter. Billy Forbes getting forward. Lopez joining him across. Forbes making the run here against Plua. And well done, well defended there coming back by Joseph Plua, or Conrad Plua, that is, rather.
Oh no, we have someone injured down here. Is that Barmby back here? Sure
That is Jack Barmby behind the play.
Oh,
that's not good. A non-contact injury as Jack went down there. And that's certainly not something you like to see.
yeah. When you see a player holding his hands on his head like that, obviously it's not good. Let's hope this is more superficial.
Methodist Healthcare on the mend tonight for San Antonio there without notable players who've been out, Lance Lang and Mo Hernandez, but also on that injured list tonight. Ethan Bryan is out with a lower body injury, and Ever Guzman is out with an upper body injury this evening out of the starting 18. Leroy Magarushi has been ruled out for the season, suffering a lower body injury in the opening weeks of the campaign. The good news for Barmby is that he's able to walk off under his own power here, and that's at least a promising sign. An opportunity for San Antonio and Real Monarchs to get a water break. There are no water breaks tonight. Temperature at kickoff 94 degrees. Light breeze out of the southeast at about 8 miles an hour, and humidity is not terrible, because if you've been in the area here for the past week, we have had some spectacular July weather. Cool mornings, pleasant afternoons. Late July in South Texas, it felt more like October here over the last week. So could be a lot worse. You could be looking at 100 to 105 and dew points in the 70s. Instead, we've got 94 and dew point at 61. We'll all take that. San Antonio up 1 early here as Jack Barmby rejoins the play after going to ground just a moment ago. Michael LaHood puts the ball over the top. Brian Gomez making the run out wide here, right wide against Noah Powder. And Powder was able to get back there on Gomez. And it's a throw here for Real Monarchs. Noah Powder actually played, or was at least called up to Real Salt Lake for their League Cup game against Tigres on Tuesday. The left back, 20-year-old, who played last season in Orange County. Here's Lionel Atunde, who's playing in the number 9 spot tonight for Jamison Olavi in place of Douglas Martinez, stripped of the ball.
This team really has a lot of young, promising players from the academy. It's really exciting to see.
A through ball from Pirano intended for Frank Lopez, just a little bit beyond him, as David Ochoa will gobble it up. Real Monarchs went 5 consecutive matches with wins, a huge 15 points. They started the season in a tough spot with just 3 wins in their first 12 matches.
Yeah, that's a long season.
Rattled off 5 wins in a row and then picked up a draw last Saturday night, and you could move from the bottom of the table right back into the playoff mix in almost a matter of a month, which is exactly what Real Monarchs did. Pirano looking in Lopez's direction, and it's cut off there by Kalen Ryden. Back to Conrad Plua and Portillo. Out wide, here's Chang. Evia Khan defending as he gets forward there on Chang. Back to Portillo. And across to Noah Powder. And some good possession here out of the back for Real Monarchs as they'll get forward now. Arriaga and Powder. Luis Palma out wide by the touchline. Palma there running on LaHood. Gomez collapsing as well, stays with possession. Portillo will send it to Chang as an offside position, and the flag is up on him.
This young team can play.
Coming off back-to-back seasons in which they won 19 or more matches. Last year, 60 points, finishing 4th in the West. Were eliminated in the first round of the USL playoffs by Reno, and then had their best season 2 years ago, and they posted a record of 20 wins against just 5 losses and 7 draws. 67 points was the best record in the Western Conference, but they lost, I believe it was in penalty kicks, to Sacramento Republic in the opening round of the playoffs. That season back in 2017, which of course was the year San Antonio FC advanced to the USL Cup playoffs and were eliminated in penalty kicks themselves in the semifinals by OKC Energy FC.
You can see, Dan, the momentum has definitely shifted back to Real. I'd like to see us even high press even more.
Last year, as we mentioned, Monarchs came in with the best record in the Western Conference to San Antonio in early September, and San Antonio put 4 goals on the board against them. Arguably, it might have been their biggest victory of the season against the Real Monarchs club that was amongst the elite in the USL a year ago. Trying to once again duplicate that. They're off to a good start tonight with the opening goal in the first quarter hour of the match, leading 1-0 at home. Ryden and Jack Blake coming back here for the ball. Jack Blake, native of Nottingham, England. He's been around in the USL and the NASL for several years. And the one thing that this Real Monarchs midfield and back line will do is they'll play with a tremendous amount of poise.
It's very evident. That's well said, Dan. You can see it. They have a really good mixture of academy players and some veteran players, and they just mix together very well, as we were talking about before the broadcast.
Both these clubs at 80% success rate or better on their passing. Monarchs actually hasn't been the best possession team this year, just 48% against a San Antonio team that's 52% on the possession for the season.
Once again, as we always talk about, possession with the purpose, right?
Abby Akan gives it away. Portillo for Michael Chang. Chang cuts it back, top of the 18-yard box. Atunde returns to Chang. Chang clips a good ball in towards that back post. Cardone is first to it. This is Matt Cardone's 52nd all-time league match for San Antonio FC. 21 wins, 19 losses, 11 draws, 14 clean sheets, 6 of which have come this season. He's played in all but just 1 match this year for San Antonio FC, going 6-7-6.
That's a great run.
Lopez again coming out. Ochoa will beat him to the ball as he skies it out of play across touch.
Yeah, so once again, you see that diagonal penetrating run. Super fantastic run, and that was a great ball by Gomez.
Here's Khan. Khan did not play in the match against El Paso. Snapped a streak of, would have been for him, 18 consecutive starts. Josh Yarrow and Kai Green have played every minute this season for San Antonio FC. Akan now has played all but just 1 match.
Wow, that almost got through.
Arriaga. As Jack Blake now will get forward, switching the play in the direction of Palma as he'll bring it down. Palma, nice find. Atunde turns inside the area. Atunde, that's blocked from Yarrow. Yarrow has turned into a premier defender in the USL this season. There's a hard foul. And a yellow card has been served on Noah Powder there to the tackle on Pirano in the middle of the field.
Wow, this young man takes some abuse every game, but he is a fighter. You saw this coming.
4th caution of the season on Noah Powder as he goes into Guido Gonzalez's juniors books here in the 28th minute.
That was a great save back here, by the way.
Yeah, talking about Josh Yarrow, that was his 17th block of the season as we see it again.
So he gets beat, he turns him, then he recovers. Well, wow.
Yarrow begins the night 8th in the USL with his 87 clearances to go along with 23 interceptions and 34 tackles. Billy Forbes, edge of the box. Forbes, he had Moberg turned inside out.
Frank Lopez was just waiting for that ball. He was getting ready to tee it up. Very good run. Great ball once again by Barmby.
We've seen Billy Forbes really make the defense look silly at times out wide here, and you could tell he took Moberg out, cutting it back right there. He just lost possession of the ball at his feet.
Excellent touch. Yeah, they're very composed, this team.
I was going to say, if you're James and Olave right now watching, you have to, like what you've seen from the response of your group after conceding early here tonight in San Antonio.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, you can definitely see there. They've got most of the possession. They seem very still in control, very composed and patient. Great turn.
Portillo. Palma. Atunde making the run. Akan will clip it back here for Cardoni. Cardoni gave it away, gave it right to Chang. He's got to get back in here now as Atunde's got it under the edge of the box. Cuts it across and taken away there by Akan as he'll get it forward. Pirano will bring it down with a good touch. Shrugs off the tackle to get forward. Pirano. Lopez onside. Into the box. Frank Lopez. Lopez gives it a goal. San Antonio's up 2. Welcome to San Antonio, Frank Lopez, his 3rd goal in 3 matches, and San Antonio FC has doubled their lead on the visitors.
Look at this finish. This is a fantastic hit. No angle. He looks across, decides to put his head down, but look how he strikes across the ball. We're going to see it in the replay here. Watch how he almost tops the ball with a spin. This is very hard for the goalkeeper. You can tell this player is a goal scorer. And he comes across it with pace.
And although it looks like Ochoa should have had it, to your point exactly, there is so much, I guess, texture on that ball there.
Remember, we're watching a replay of that ball. He pinged that ball. That ball was spinning in there. Yes, the rule is keeper gets a hand on it. He should have saved it. That was a great finish, though.
Frank Lopez, his 9th goal this season, his 3rd already in 3 matches with San Antonio FC. That is his 22nd goal already in USL play in 2 seasons. 45th match tonight in USL. He's got 22 goals. You talk about a guy who knows where to be in the right spots. He puts himself in the right places.
He's a definite poacher. You can tell this is a player who's just a downright goal scorer. I'm sure Darren is. It's a great find. Very happy to. This changes the whole complexion of a team. When you have a player that can stretch like this, it just creates so much opportunity.
Well, we spent the first half of the season talking about missed opportunities for San Antonio FC on the attack, and they have really flipped the script on that narrative over the last month of the season, putting 3 on the board against Austin Bold FC here the day before July 4th, and already 2 on the board in the first half hour tonight against Real Monarchs SLC. And we get a foul here on Jack Blake, who's almost beside himself with Guido Gonzalez Jr.
Here's the replay again. Great. He looks across. He has one thing in mind. Hit the target.
The native of Cienfuegos, Cuba, Frank Lopez, just 24 years of age. And you could ask, well, for players scored 6 times with LA Galaxy 2 as their leading scorer, how come he was made available and put on loan for San Antonio FC to take advantage of? And sometimes it should be pointed out that for a lot of Major League Soccer squads, playing time is so important to the young players. Here is another potential opportunity for Jack Barmby. He's unable to catch up with it. But when you look at the grand scheme of your roster and you look at your first team, you look at your USL club, you look at your academy, and you have to think about minutes and how those minutes get divided. And for a guy like Frank Lopez, those minutes for the first side, LA Galaxy, were not going to be there going forward. So if they're not there for the first team, then you have to start thinking about the next players down the line to develop in the academy and bringing those players up to the USL side. And so even though this player is their best attacker and best goal scorer, all of a sudden he becomes put in something of an awkward position because he's not going to make the first team and becomes available here for another team to take advantage of it. He's become San Antonio FC's treasure now here in the last couple of weeks since he's come over.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's the league. I mean, that's the level. This shows the level that MLS is at, because this is a really strong, steady player, but he will find a home, and hopefully it's here.
And San Antonio FC very happy to have him. If you think about what Lopez has done, it's really a lot of what we saw from Ever Guzman over the last couple of years, being able to stretch the back line, get in behind the defense, and Ever was so good at doing that. And Ever is still probably one of the best inside the 18-yard box for my money in the USL. But what Frank Lopez does, to your point, is that he is able to get behind the back line. He's able to make those runs, and he's got a motor like almost nobody else does out on that field. It's always going.
Yeah, so far, what I really like, his best attribute, in my opinion, is he works hard and he's making those darting, piercing, penetrating runs, which as a fullback you just do not like.
He has San Antonio up 2 here in the first half. A familiar position for SAFC. They were up 2 back in April in Salt Lake City. As we talked about, Real Monarchs SLC getting 3 in the second half to take an improbable come-from-behind victory in all 3 points that night. Conrad Plua off to Jack Blake, who nearly gave it away to Billy Forbes. Special thanks to Methodist Healthcare System for presenting tonight's Breast Health Awareness Night. Talked about Breast Health Awareness Night. San Antonio FC wearing pregame kits that are being auctioned off right now. Go to sanantoniofc.com with the proceeds of that auction benefiting Texas Wings, which provides breast health care services to women in Central and South Texas. Portillo puts it out wide. Palma checks his options, will return to Portillo. Jack Blake. Portillo, once again, it opens up a little bit for him. Finds a seam to Arriaga, and then out wide for Palma. Palma looking to that back post, hits the woodwork as it goes off the bar. Clipped back across there from Moberg and cleared out of danger by Michael LaHood.
I was just going to mention Luis Palmer. He's another, you can tell, really, really creative player. I like the way he plays, and as soon as I'm thinking that, he hit a sweet ball. That's the kind of ball that totally catches a keeper off guard. As you can see, that was very well struck. Not a lot of pace, but the direction.
Fortunate for San Antonio. It went off the crossbar and stayed out. Billy Forbes makes the run there on Moberg. Pirano, top of the 18-yard box to the giveaway. And Real Monarchs SLC will take over here. 37th minute, San Antonio FC up 2.
In another few months, that play that we just saw right there across, and Lopez dummies it to Pirana, okay? That play in another 2 months will work. They'll be on the same page, I really believe.
Michael Chang is down to ground, but we'll get back up here in the restart for Real Monarchs. Atundi upfield brings it down. And Atundi threw his weight into Yarrow, throwing him into Cardoni. And Atundi is down, Cardoni is down.
Cardoni took a knee to the side of the temple. This does not look good.
So Atundi going after this ball forces himself on Yarrow, and then you see with that right boot kicks out at Cardoni.
That is absolutely malicious. As a player, you know not to go in this. You see the keeper coming out. In my opinion, that's a straight red. I really wish they had VAR, because that is such a dangerous play. And now he's faking like he's injured after his foot went into his head. Unbelievable.
Watch Atunde again, the push on Yarrow, and then the straight kick to the side of Matt Cardone's head.
I really don't like to see that.
So as Atunde, when he gets to his feet, we'll see how Guido Gonzalez Jr. rules it. He's still down.
I really hope the assistant saw some sort of a replay, because that is just malicious. It's really uncalled for. You know, as a player, you can't put yourself in a position like that after you've lost the ball.
Attention being given both to Atunde and Matt Cardone here. Cardone still has not come up there from the laying position after he caught the right foot of Atunde there at the side of his head. And now Atunde is going over, is at least expressing what appears to be concern and remorse for Cardone, who's down.
This is stuff you see at the lower levels or at the kid level. This is, as a player, you know that you cannot get that ball.
That's the backup keeper, Jonathan Viscosi, who's appeared in just one match this season. You can see there, I'm gathering that Cardone probably was cut in that instance, because it appears they're applying a bandage of some sort to the top of his forehead there.
Yeah, let's hope it's not his neck or concussion.
And so a very scary situation going on right now here as the attention continues for Matt Cardone. Let's take a look at it one final time. Certainly, he got him on the forehead and a yellow to Atunde as he finally got to his feet. He served the yellow. Oh, did he get it ready? He was sent off, indeed.
You can appreciate the effort, but at the end of the day, it really is a straight red.
Oh, there it is, red.
I'm just glad both players are fine. It's really unfortunate, because he was making a difference, this player. He was putting himself in some really good positions.
So Atunde's been sent off in the 42nd minute. And Real Monarchs playing with 10 men, and it does not look like Matt Cardone is going to continue, as he's making his way up and gives a thumbs up to the crowd. It's a good sign that he's okay, but we'll see. For the first time in a long time, Jonathan Viscosi, he has not played in a league match since March 30th at Austin Bolt. He did play in the Open Cup in Austin on May 29th. Played in San Antonio's Open Cup matches against both Austin and Laredo. And it's just his second league match of the season. And Real Monarchs playing with 10 men the rest of the way. San Antonio up 2 as Viscosi's in here, replacing the injured Cardone. And a foul on Arriaga as a con with the reset.
I believe this game will most definitely open up here in the second half, without a doubt.
Viscosi's a veteran. He's went a long time in Europe, most recently in the Finnish league. 90 matches over his career, so it's a position where even though he has not featured very much for San Antonio FC, they certainly do have depth in case of something that might be a little more extensive for Matt Cardoni beside the remainder of tonight's match.
I did not know that. He actually played in the Finnish league, you said, Dan?
Did for TPS for the last couple of seasons. He's a native of Ottawa, Ontario. This is his first year playing in USL.
He's very quick. He's got very quick cat-like reactions. I will say that he's a good shot stopper.
He's not young. He's 29 years of age. Not young, I should say, by soccer matters. 29 still very spry. A 7th-year player, though, so again, you're not putting in an inexperienced keeper here in this situation. Donovan Viscasi has seen a lot.
I've actually had the opportunity to watch him practice quite a few times, and he's impressed me. He's very good off his line, and he does play with some confidence, which is probably the most important thing from a keeper's standpoint or a player that you want to see.
And the best part about it is that he's got a 2-goal lead here as we approach halftime, and Real Monarchs playing with just 10 men here the rest of the way. So that certainly bodes well for San Antonio FC here for the second half. And we'll obviously have some extensive added time, 6 minutes of added time here at the end of the first half, part due to the injuries to Atunde and Cardoni. Atunde sent off in the 42nd minute after he got back to his feet.
Very rare pass from Michael LaHood. Usually his passing accuracy is just phenomenal.
Billy Forbes in Frank Lopez's direction, and this ball brought down by Conrad Plua. Portillo will find Jack Blake. Michael Chang. And off Billy Forbes, and a throw coming up for Real Monarchs. The Monarchs trying to maybe catch San Antonio napping here at the end of the half, seeing if they can get one and at least putting themselves potentially in a spot where they could try to nab the equalizer in the second half.
Yeah, so it looks like they're just switched to a 4-4-1. We just have to keep the pace of the game going and not get lethargic here and get stuck in this game of it really becomes a psychological game here, but it's keep away for us.
Jack Blake to Moberg. On the touchline, Moberg make the run here on Barmby, and Akan returns it to Blake. Blake is it off Ebi Akan. This will... Was it kept alive by Viscasi? It was, they say. Viscasi preventing a corner here. Just one corner in the match. That came very early on for San Antonio FC. But otherwise, this has been a match that hasn't featured very many set pieces for either club here so far. LaHood, Kai Green. Gomez out wide. And with a 2-goal lead playing against a club with 10 men, more to your point, Gabe, this is really where San Antonio knows their strengths, because they're good on possession, they're good on the dribble, they're good on their passing. So when you're up 2 goals, you really can set the tone for the remainder of the match. As Frank Lopez looking in Pirano's direction and deflected out here, and now on the counter for Real Monarchs, Palma. Jack Blake comes forward along with Arriaga. The trailer is Noah Powder running behind Luis Palma. And Portillo, back man, and collision there with Pirano will result in the aforementioned set piece here coming up for Real Monarchs.
What I like there, though, look, we almost had all 11 players back, so the discipline, the commitment is still there, and that's going to be one of the key things I'm sure at halftime that Darren's going to address is you got to still continue with the discipline, the commitment to defend and play. You cannot get psychologically lethargic.
So Real Monarchs here, the opportunity to the set piece, stoppage time of the first half. Portillo over the ball. 4 along the line there for Monarchs here. Now finds Ryden, and he's in an offside position anyway. Kalen Ryden coming up that right side off the top of the 18-yard box, but offside regardless. As we're nearly 4 minutes through the allotted 6 here of stoppage time at the end of the first half.
Wow, Real's actually pressing high.
You could tell they're trying to get one here before halftime without question. They're trying to really almost catch San Antonio in a perhaps unfamiliar position, maybe a little bit of a letdown here at the end of the half.
I actually like that tactic.
Well, they know they're going to get a 15-minute break here, so we'll exert a little more energy here at the end of the first half, perhaps.
No, I really like the enthusiasm from this team.
Blake. Palma, little back touch. Arriaga taken away by Akan. Slices his way forward, and a great ball to Christian Pirano. Running there on Ryden. Pirano. To Billy Forbes, brings it down the one time, and it's saved off the end line by Ochoa.
What a great ball with his right foot. He just mistimed it. Billy Forbes just mistimed the jump. He could not get his head, the power behind it that he needed.
Now watch out here, Monarchs a little bit on the counter. Oh no! A back pass doesn't go their way, and Monarchs makes them pay. San Antonio FC with an egregious mistake at the end of the first half, and Luis Palma will give the visitors some life here before halftime.
Wow, this is really unfortunate, but this is the kind of stuff that happens when you're not on the same page and used to playing with each other. Very unfortunate.
First goal in 4 matches this season for the young 19-year-old Luis Palma, taking advantage of an error on the back end with Michael LaHood and Jonathan Viscosi and San Antonio FC. You could tell, Gabe, Real Monarchs they were going for one
You got
at the end of the first half, and they'll get it, and they'll give themselves some life going to the locker room at halftime.
This is going to be a fun game to watch the second half. I can assure you, Darren, Powell, we'll sort it out at halftime.
Frank Lopez, right now his goal stands as the difference in the 31st minute. His 3rd goal with San Antonio FC, and the home side is up 2-1 here at Toyota Field after 45 minutes. We'll take a break. Halftime coming up when we return after this on Fox Sports Southwest.
Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel.
It's only a short drive from home.
Over 3,300 slots, poker, and live bingo.
I come for the drinks.
It's a great place to celebrate.
Come and play.
No! For all your car's Big O knows, there's always a Big O yes, like getting great deals on the best tire brands. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Okay, parents, let's focus. Our first lesson is about how HEB is your one-stop shop for everything on their list. In one convenient place, you can get LOL backpacks, Fortnite lunch kits, fashion pencil cases. No phones, Mr. Hayes.
But it's work.
Work can wait.
So my kids are really picky about school supplies?
We don't say picky, Mrs. Peterson, but for kids with great taste, HEB has it all. Time for a pop quiz.
Kids know back to school and that they'll find everything on their list at HEB.
Pop quiz?
Being on a team is about being prepared, knowing exactly what part you play, and doing it. Being focused, letting years of determination and skill be at the forefront. Because in the end, there is only one goal in mind: the outcome. That's how great teams operate, and it's all based on trust. That's why these two teams came together.
Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel.
It's only a short drive from home.
Over 3,300 slots, poker and live bingo.
I come for the drinks.
It's a great place to celebrate.
Come and play.
It's Frater! What a hit! Crossing in, it's a goal! Keeps it better knocked away myself. Omar Salgado, the hometown hero.
Streaking run from Josh Suggs.
The cross keeps the bitter. Another brace. Mower!
There's so much pride in this state. There's, I think, been so much pent-up demand in people who have just been looking for a way to shine and come through, and they're so capable. Some of the best people in the world live in New Mexico.
This idea was sort of born from that, why don't we have a section in our stadium that is devoted entirely to the underserved, the underprivileged, maybe kids who would never have the opportunity to come do this, or public servants in our community, firefighters, teachers.
It's really about uniting to the community. It's really about seeing positive outcomes for people. When I see a positive outcome for someone and I see someone start to believe in themselves more and understand what their capabilities are, it makes me feel so happy because I think oftentimes people aren't in a situation where they're able to really fully shine. And we have, individually, we have so much inside. It's probably so much more than we're even allowed or think we can give every day. So let's create a platform that gives and encourages giving and encourages community. And I think if we do that, we can make a real change.
For example, we have the YMCA coming, so we gave 75 tickets there. There was 150 tickets went to Herman Sanchez Community Center, and then the others went to other kids in the community that really would not have this opportunity.
But by the way, if it was gone and someone else wanted to get in, we'd make it happen. It's for everybody.
So it's a way to spread goodwill in our own community to the people who need it most.
It's not just about a game anymore. New Mexico is really out there making a statement.
We wanted everybody from Albuquerque to Santa Fe to the eastern and western corners of the state, southern. You're part of this team. You're part of this family. It's a movement really more than anything else, and we want everyone to know that they're a part of it. That's what our name means, United.
Taking care of our patients is our primary goal, but taking care of our employees is just as important. I'm Laura Paredes. I work with Hill Country Paint Associates. We definitely get great benefits at a great price with SWBC PEO. They handle our payroll, our 401k, our workers' comp, our unemployment, anything HR related. They're just pros. They're great at what they do. Our business is pain management. I do not want to be an HR professional.
Give us your tired, your greasy, your huddled masses yearning to be recycled, the wretched refuse of your teeming plates. Give us the left behind and the tossed aside. And we'll turn them into cleaner burning, low carbon, renewable fuel. Diamond Green Diesel from Valero, America's largest producer of renewable diesel.
Halftime continues from Toyota Field. San Antonio FC on top of Real Monarchs SLC by a score of 2-1. And we welcome you back upstairs to the broadcast booth with Gabe Garcia. I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks for joining us here once again tonight on Fox Sports Southwest. Gabe, San Antonio is up 1 at the half against a Real Monarchs team that's playing with 10 men for the rest of the way after Anil Tunde was sent off at the 42nd minute. You would think we're in a good spot here But Real Monarchs SLC seizing some momentum there at the end of the first half should make for a very exciting second half coming up.
I totally agree. This team is they can play. They're young. They like to get forward. We were talking about it right before the goal, how they like to press, and so you can tell that the coach has a lot of confidence in this team. So expect a really exciting second half.
Well, San Antonio FC started this game on their front foot, as they've done so very much over the last few weeks, and a volley in for Brian Gomez in the 15th minute for his 4th goal of the season. And then how about this take by Frank Lopez in his SAFC home debut, giving the home side a 2-goal lead.
Oh, what a great strike. That ball had a lot of velocity.
And then here was when Atunde got sent off, as he ends up injuring Matt Cardoni and taking him out of the game, as Cardoni leaving after appearing to receive a cut on his forehead, but he gives the thumbs up. But even down a man, it's a miscue on the back end between SAFC and Jonathan Biscassi, and Luis Palma takes advantage to give Real Monarchs some life heading into halftime as we look at the first half stats. And it's interesting, when you look at how this match has unfolded, how about that 60% possession by Real Monarchs here at halftime?
That says it all from a young team that has possession from us. We're a possession-based team, mind you, and they're out-possessing us. So we're going to have a really exciting second half. I can't wait to see it.
6 shots for SAFC, and all 6 have been on target. That's good to see, too, because we've called so many games this season where SAFC, they've had their chances, they've been on the attack, and finally that execution is starting to come through in the final third of the field and in that last touch for SAFC.
Yeah, 2 words, Frank Lopez. You can tell this is a player that when he strikes the ball, you can tell he's always wanting to hit the target. You can see, and we should be. At this point in the season, we should be hitting the target, all players.
Well, SAFC has hit the target and scored twice tonight. They have a 1-goal lead on Real Monarchs SLC, 2-1. We'll see how the second half unfolds here at Toyota Field. San Antonio trying to get themselves back above the playoff line. Second half coming up next.
A lawyer that's here for you. Some of you might be watching this game injured after a terrible accident. Did you suffer broken bones or have to have surgery? I want you to know that Davis Law Firm is here for you. And if you call us and you need us, we'll come to you during this game. And then we'll fight for justice and demand the cash settlement you deserve. Call me at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. Now, before we go back to the game, don't forget, there's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
For all your car's Big O knows, there's always a Big O yes. Like getting great deals on the best tire brands.
Do you know what optimism can do? Whatever it wants. We've seen it unlock resilience that makes the impossible inevitable, inspire generosity to put families back on their feet, and give Davids courage to throw rocks at Goliaths. At Frost, we believe optimism can change lives emotionally, physically, and financially. And with your help, we're going to prove it.
Really fallen on some hard times as of late. A lot of credit to Tulsa at home for playing tough. Austin at home is up 1 over Fresno, who's currently in the top half of the playoff race and has been playing some great soccer too. A lot of great matchups coming up later tonight. Orange County is home against Sacramento. Tacoma will be at home to host OKC Energy FC, which is in that last playoff spot right now. Las Vegas below the playoff line, taking on Rio Grande Valley, also below the playoff line. And then Reno will host Colorado Springs. And here is the table, as we mentioned. Phoenix going for their 11th straight win tonight. You see Reno and Fresno right there behind them. And then it really becomes congested, Gabe. 4th through 16th is only separated by 9 points. And for San Antonio, it's amazing to think they've only won 6 of 20 matches, and yet they find themselves just 5 points out of a potential home field playoff spot in the opening round of the USL playoffs.
It really is amazing. You can see here, with 2 wins, you can jump potentially to 4th place, 4th or 5th. So as players, you know this. So you got 2 games. That's what you're going to think. Focus on each game. That this is wide open.
It certainly is, and so should be the second half. Wide open as well. That's coming up next. San Antonio, Real Monarchs, SLC, second half here on Fox Sports Southwest.
Hi, sports fans. I'm Jeff Davis, the San Antonio lawyer that's here for you. Some of you might be watching this game injured after a terrible accident. Did you suffer broken bones or have to have surgery? I want you to know that Davis Law Firm is here for you. And if you call us and you need us, we'll come to you during this game. And then we'll fight for justice and demand the cash settlement you deserve. Call me at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. Now, before we go back to the game, don't forget, there's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
For all your car's Big O knows, there's always a Big O yes. Like getting great deals on the best tire brands.
Do you know what optimism can do? Whatever it wants. We've seen it unlock resilience that makes the impossible inevitable, inspire generosity to put families back on their feet, and give Davids courage to throw rocks at Goliaths. At Frost, we believe optimism can change lives emotionally, physically, and financially. And with your help, we're going to prove it.
Top of Real Monarchs by a score of 2-1, along with Gabe Garcia, our entire crew. I'm Dan Weiss, up here at the broadcast booth. San Antonio trying to get even closer to that 500 mark, looking for their 7th win and their 6th here at home. And Frank Lopez's goal in the 31st minute, right now the difference for SAFC. Went up 2 goals early in the first half hour tonight before Real Monarchs gets one back just before halftime. The visitors playing with just 10 men. But that certainly didn't change their tactics or approach there after Atunde was set off in the 42nd minute. So we'll see what happens here, Gabe, as we start things in the second half.
I'm definitely expecting more goals from both teams, perhaps. Let's hope it's us more. More us, for sure.
No changes for either side. Looks like Monarchs will start in a 4-3-2 here to begin things in the second half. SAFC, which has played in that 3-4-3 formation for a lot over the last few weeks, finding success, and a rare giveaway there outside by a con. Allow Monarchs to get forward early in the second half. Jack Blake with a return ball, and Michael Cheng gives it a go, and that one is blocked away from danger. Volleyed back along, staying onside here as Arriaga hunts it down. Who's looking to clip it one across for Jack Blake, and it'll result in the first corner of the evening here for Monarchs.
What an excellent first-time ball. That ball was up in the air, had terrible spin on it, and he just took it out of the air and gave, what a pass, number 43, Justin Portillo.
So Portillo will go over to take the corner. Right-footed out swinger. San Antonio FC Soccer here on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Toyota. Go to buyatoyota.com or visit your local Toyota dealer today. Portillo setting up for the first corner of the night here for Real Monarchs SLC. Strikes a ball shallow here, and this one is headed away and out from San Antonio. And look at Frank Lopez gunning forward here, but behind the plate, it's Pirano with a foul, and Arriaga and will set up a free kick opportunity here for Monarchs. Guido Gonzalez Jr. has been busy so far here tonight's match. The talking for both sides here will mark off the 10 yards. And a dangerous spot here early in the second half on a set-piece opportunity for Monarchs.
Oh, this really is. This is what a coach, Darren is up. He keeps getting off his bench. I'm noticing he's very perturbed because you cannot let teams do this. The first 5 minutes, you've got to come and you have to set the pace of the game. And by doing stupid, silly fouls.
Noah Powder over the ball. Powder, and that took a deflection like off of Pirano there. And it'll end up being a corner. Second one coming up here for Monarchs.
He really has a nice left foot.
Here's Noah Powder. Comes the in-swinger here with that left foot. Great service. Viscasi gets up to volley it away. And San Antonio FC makes the clearance. What a great ball, though, from Noah Powder outside. Clipped by Portillo here, looking back in the direction of Palma. Jack Blake will come and run it down. Palma slides there by Brian Gomez, works it into the area. It comes down here inside in danger. Arteaga brings it down, goes down to the box, but we play on. No foul. San Antonio on the counter as Yarrow sends it ahead. Here's Billy Forbes. Remember, Monarchs playing with just 10 men. And Forbes tried to return it to Yarrow on the combination, and it was defended out by James Moberg.
Wow, I'd like to see that replay. That looked really close. You can see the head coach, he is absolutely livid. He thinks it was a penalty.
San Antonio FC will go back and take possession. I don't know if there's a guy who certainly knows what a penalty is. Bihamison Olave, is he? Back in 2016, he set the Major League Soccer record by getting his 10th red card all time. It's his final year playing.
I mentioned earlier he was a really tough, gritty player. He did not like to lose.
He joined the Claret and Cobalt back in 2008. He was part of Real Salt Lake's MLS Cup title run in 2009. He was also the Defender of the Year in Major League Soccer back in 2010.
I do remember he was quite the player.
And the second time he's now come on as an interim head coach here for Monarchs. And again, he's done well. He's 13-10-3 in 26 matches as an interim. Gonna give away here, and Michael LaHood is down. Chang back to Noah Powder, across Portillo. To the top of the 18-yard box for Chang. That was defended away by San Antonio. Oh, hard challenge from Portillo there on Pirano, and he'll be shown yellow in the 51st minute. Second caution of the season to Justin Portillo.
He really has an uncanny way of putting his body in between the player and the ball. He really does. Christian Pirano.
If you're San Antonio playing one man up here with the lead, how do you switch the momentum in this game?
That's a good question, Rafi. Really, you know you're a man up. You practice this all the time. You've got to, it's just keep away. You're a man up, so you've got to find the open guy and keep pressing. You can't just sit back. You have to, it's the opposite. You have to attack more and be disciplined. You cannot get lazy.
Granted, Atsundi didn't get sent off to the 42nd minute, as this one is volleyed back here and played comfortably by Ochoa. But it'll be interesting to watch those possession numbers going forward here in the second half, particularly with Real Monarchs playing a man down. I doubt they'll keep the 60-40 ratio on the possession, but certainly, at least here to start, it's been in their favor in the second half. As Jack Blake again getting forward. A good outside ball there from Moberg. Moberg plays a low ball into the box, taken by Yarrow. And returned out here wide, Kai Green. Pirano at his feet gives to Pekka. Frank Lopez.
One of the reasons this Real team can attack is because the outside backs love to get forward. You can see Powder. He loves to get forward.
Now he'll let Palma do the job upfield for him now as Powder will volley it along to Luis Palma. Palma, he'll give it a go from distance, but skies it into 116.
They're not afraid to shoot, that's for sure.
And Luis Palma getting his first goal this season in USL play. It's only his fourth match with Real Monarchs. He hasn't been put in this outside midfield role very often because typically it'd be Arriaga playing in that role on the left side. And then before that, Josh Hurd was playing outside wide on the left side too, but Real Monarchs SLC a couple of weeks ago loaned two of their veteran players, Andrew Brody, a defender, and Josh Hurd, the midfielder, to the third division in Austria, trying to make some room here for younger players to get minutes. Is no different than what we saw with LA Galaxy 2 do in loaning Frank Lopez to San Antonio FC to get some playing time for some of their younger players as well.
Well, there's definitely some promise with these players, that's for sure.
As Pekka sends a ball, it's taken on a great touch from Brian Gomez. Gomez makes the keeper work, parried out, Jack Barnby at his feet, and Barnby with a heavy touch there off his left foot puts it out of the stadium and onto Wonderland Drive.
What a great first touch by Brian Gomez on the fly, on the run. The execution is just not there, and of all players you'd want it to bounce to, Jack Barnby, he just lets it get too high.
Sky Green comes back underneath the ball, and San Antonio FC will reset, leading 2-1 here early in the second half. And that late goal by Luis Palma on the miscue by San Antonio FC really changing the complexion of the match, despite the fact San Antonio leading by 1, despite the fact playing a man up. They've had to thwart off a pretty aggressive Real Monarchs club here over the last 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, you really have to appreciate it, Dan. They definitely have some belief. It's very evident in their play.
Barnby, good find. Billy Forbes, plenty of daylight into the box. Billy Forbes looks to cut it across and defended out by Moberg, who looks like he pulled up lame. Goes right down, I think, for that hamstring there. Here is a corner's coming up for San Antonio FC, and I think Moberg is going to get some attention here. He pulled up lame, trying to keep up there with Billy Forbes, and certainly looked like in the vicinity of what you'd see with a hamstring injury there for James Moberg.
In this replay, look at the runs by Brian Gomez and Christian Pirano. Excellent. Billy just has to, it's just a bit too late. A little earlier, and it's a goal.
And as Moberg gets attended to here before the corner, you know, we're talking about the young prospects and the academy players for a lot of different teams. I think we should pay attention and give some recognition to our own academy, as earlier this week, San Antonio FC's Pro Academy was named the U.S. Soccer Development Academy Central Conference Coaching Staff of the Year by U.S. Soccer, as they join two Major League Soccer clubs, NYCFC and LAFC. NYCFC representing the Eastern Conference and LAFC representing the Western Conference, is having the Academy Coaches of the Year over a 10-month period. The Academy, of course, under the direction of Nick Evans, the director, Darren Powell, the technical director, and SAFC, which will feature their 5th team of Academy play coming up here in the fall, as their U17s will play. That is a job well done by what Nick Evans and Darren Powell have done with the Academy over the last 4 years. As Yarrow will get under the end of this one and headed away from goal.
That is great company to be in, and I am not surprised, Dan. I've had plenty of opportunity to sit down with these coaches, and they've known each other for a long time now. They really all get along, and they're very, very professional at all levels. I'm very excited for what San Antonio has in terms of the academy.
Moberg will not continue, as you'd expect there, which again would look to be something of a hamstring injury. Comes out in the 57th minute, replaced by Steve Iasso as the first substitute to be used tonight by Hamasin Olave. And just to speak a little bit more on the success of the academy, they've had 8 players this year log minutes with the first team either in USL play, Open Cup play, or in exhibition play, which is outstanding. And tonight they have a 15-year-old Rocky Perez who is in the 18 for San Antonio FC on the bench. As we get a foul here outside, looks like on Ebia Khan, with Arriaga going down here and holding onto the back of his leg. That's not Arriaga. I think is that Chang? That's Chang. Yeah.
Back to the academy, Dan. It's really unheard of to have that many players at this level where you really don't have a first team, so to speak. It really is. So kudos to the staff, to Juan de la Madrid, Nick Evans, all of them. They really do a great job, so keep it up, gentlemen.
SAFC's Pro Academy, which was started along with San Antonio FC back in 2016, identifying and training players here in the San Antonio area to provide a pathway either to SAFC, to the national teams, or to college, which is equally as important, a chance to play college soccer as well.
Yes, I believe we have a handful of players. I believe it's 3 players that are actually on the national pool, which is, once again, really unheard of. If you have 1 player from your city, you've done great, but 3 players, that speaks volumes of this coaching staff.
Monarchs will get a third corner here in the 59th minute. SAFC maintaining a 2-1 lead here at Toyota Field. Monarchs certainly pressing for that equalizer despite playing a man down. Portillo, the right-footed in-swinger here, will take it. This ball volleyed across the top of the 6-yard box, and Jack Barmby will run it down over by the touchline.
What a great corner.
Yasso with the first touch. And brought down by Conrad Plua, brushed off the ball. And SAFC with it on the attack will get back forward. And Billy Forbes is onside, and now a late offside flag goes up on Billy Forbes, but appeared to be the correct call. Billy looked to be about a stride above where the ball was playing in an offside position. San Antonio FC, though, right idea, though, on the counter.
Pretty close, just a little foot off.
Just as I said, about a stride off there for Forbes. Palma back on the counter here. Portillo switching the play across. Yasso getting forward just into the game. Again, one of their academy prospects, 18 years of age. This is his 5th match. Comes on for the veteran Moberg. Chang brings it down, was looking in Palma's direction, and that's defended out by SAFC.
Very good first-time ball by LaHood.
We are 1 hour through this match. San Antonio FC on top of Real Monarchs SLC 2-1. Scoring summary, Brian Gomez in the 15th minute with his 4th of the season. Frank Lopez in the 31st minute getting his 9th of the year. And then in stoppage time in the first half, Luis Palma getting his first goal of the season for the visitors. And that is your score line. The other notable note, so to speak, Matt Cardoni replaced in the 42nd minute by Jonathan Biscassi after leaving the game with an injury. And Lionel Atunde sent off for a red card for a hard tackle. That forced the injury from Cardoni. Billy Forbes, the movement into the box. Forbes driving, cutting it back across, and defended out. Will be a corner for San Antonio. Do you want to see him shoot that?
I would have preferred, yes, like maybe 2 or 3 games ago, he clipped it in with his right foot.
Maybe right there, huh?
Exactly. So what that does when you cut in like that, it's very hard for the players that are coming in, making their runs. It just throws everyone off. So you either go out wide, serve it, or if you're going to cut in, you got to take a shot.
Good corner from Barmby. The land back to Gomez. Gomez makes his man miss to the back post, missed everybody. Lopez and Kai Green in the vicinity there on the edge of the 6-yard box.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he got caught in 2 minds or he really meant to clip it with his left foot or really chip that. I'm not sure.
You can sign up to Kick It with the Pros now, presented by Toyota. You'll be entered to win a chance to participate in Toyota Field Day with SAFC players and coaches. Visit sanantoniofc.com/Toyota to enter. It's a hard foul from Jack Blake. Kai Green. The caution will go up on Jack Blake here.
Way to get your guy in yellow!
Wow. Again, really uncalled for. Great enthusiasm. Having said that, he really had no chance for the ball.
That's a costly foul for Jack Blake, their captain. That is his 5th caution of the season, and he'll get a 1-game suspension next week.
I'm sure the coach will not be happy about that.
It's the 4th player for Monarchs to go into the books tonight. And just coming into tonight's match, Real Monarchs is tied for 7th in the USL, 41 yellow cards, despite the fact they were 26th in the league in fouls conceded, just 225. So necessarily known as a more overly aggressive or dirty club per se, but it'd be hard to believe that tonight based on some of their challenges.
You have to admire their enthusiasm. They're really going for it. We need to continue to find the open guy, get forward more, and our execution needs to be in the final third a bit sharper.
Billy Forbes, and that's defended out. Well, there's no question, pressure's on SAFC. They're up a goal, they're at home, they're up a man. I almost say Real Monarchs is playing with house money at this point.
Yeah, they really have nothing to lose.
And the expectation is at this point is that they would lose because of the fact they're uneven in manpower here and down a goal in the second half. But the way the game has unfolded, since Atunde was sent off, you'd almost think SAFC was down a man.
I do agree, Dan. We've got to step up the pace here, and I don't feel comfortable at a 2-1 scoreline.
Barnby, Billy Forbes, heavy touch, cuts it back across, and kept in play by Monarchs as they'll send it forward. It's off of Yarrow, and Yarrow with a giveaway. Chang keeps it alive along the touchline. And Yarrow in a nice play as he got a piece of that pass back, and then nearly a giveaway from Kai Green as he Jack Blake over him, but he's able to return to Viscossi, will send it forward.
Well done.
R&B keeps it moving along the touchline.
Got to possess the ball there.
The giveaway will allow reset here for Real Monarchs and Conrad Plua. Portillo, Frank Lopez looking for an opening here. Plua. Chang lets it go through. San Antonio back with possession. There's Barnby. Out wide to Billy Forbes. And this is what you were talking about before, Gabe. Play catch, play keep away, maintain that possession. If you see something, go for it. Otherwise, hang on to the ball.
Exactly. Ouch.
And another hard foul from Jack Blake as he catches Pekka. And the fans would like to see Jack Blake be sent off here with a second yellow.
Did you kick another cold kick? Get a yellow card!
I believe if he didn't have a yellow,
he would get one.
Another one. Having said that, that means he should receive a yellow, which means 2 reds, equivalent to red. He's gone.
He'll avoid that unfortunate situation. Takes the legs out of the captain, Pekka. Captain on captain crime right there.
Yeah, he's the captain. He's trying to set the pace. Nothing wrong with that.
Here's Sakan. Pekka returned to LaHood. And now San Antonio FC establishing some good possession here in the last couple attempts. Pirano to Pekka. Pirano ball at his feet. Oh, spins out along the touchline. The giveaway by Pekka. And Palma will return things here to Powder. And Monarchs. Oh, cheeky ball thrown through there from Ryden upfield for Palma. Portillo to Jack Blake. Arriaga's out wide if they can get it to him, and Michael Chang will do that. Arriaga. Nicely done there from Ebiakan to take it away. Lopez with a great find upfield. Billy Forbes, plenty of daylight. Into the box, Billy Forbes makes the keeper miss. Across to Gomez. And is that a handball or no? They're saying no. Not a handball there against the defender, as it was cut back across by Gomez, and we play on. SAFC and Darren Powell arguing it was off the arm, and now we're going to foul on Frank Lopez and San Antonio. Oh, I think
great call by the ref. Great no call.
I think that was a great no call there.
This play, though, Dan, if we could have a replay, the counterattack by us was fantastic. However, Billy has to play this first-time ball. He's wide open way earlier. If he does this, he's in a one-on-one position way before this.
Yeah, I think you're right, Gabe. I think he gets him on the side there a little bit.
Now, from the other angle, you can't tell that all the players, but from this angle, it was not a handball.
So we play on. SAFC. They have the chance for the dagger there to restore their 2-goal lead. Instead, it remains a 1-goal advantage at this point.
Hey, do you want to trade jerseys with your friend?
Palma. LaHood collapses on him. Holds up Palma. This will be a throw for Monarchs. Noah Powder.
Wow, he's very quick. Noah Powder.
Portillo. Plua. Ryden. Their defender of the year last season. Former 4th-round draft pick by Columbus. Kalen Ryden. Yasso will give it back to Ochoa. Pressure coming from Lopez. Portillo comes back for the ball. Yasso clips it forward. Good find. Jack Blake, good first touch. Blake going to spin out of the tackle there.
They really played out of that sequence. Very nice, this young team.
Nice ball in the direction there of Arriaga. And a hunt it down there on the far side. And a throw coming up. There's actually Yasso over there getting forward. Second substitute coming in will be a forward, Kyle Coffey, coming on in the 70th minute. And he will come on in place of aforementioned Luis Arriaga. Coffey, 23-year-old first-year player who played collegiate soccer at the University of Washington the last 4 years. He had the go-ahead and eventual game-winning goal against SAFC in the 72nd minute back on April 20th at Zions Bank Stadium in Utah. He's got 2 goals on the season. This is his 9th appearance. And other than Cardone, Darren Powell has not dipped into his bench tonight. So Kyle Coffey wearing number 57.
This is hard to believe that we're man down.
This ball is clipped across the 18-yard box in the direction of Coffey. Clearance out from Monarchs. A little bump on Frank Lopez there. Kalen Ryden will result in a foul on Ryden and a free kick for SAFC. And San Antonio playing with the lead, playing a man up, and right now playing with the time remaining, which is 20 minutes, and whatever added time left in the match. They've managed it just well enough to maintain their lead here in the second half. Now it's Gomez. Gomez sends a great ball through looking for Lopez. This is defended out. And a throw for SAFC.
Those are the type of balls you want clipped in. You can see Lopez just poaching in the middle. They have a very good understanding.
Barnby volleys it along. Gomez. Settled by LaHood. Returned across to Kai Green. Or as Ebiakan, rather. Gets it forward to Pekka. Peck out of the return ball, back from Pirano. Lopez is just a strike there on the pitch, didn't get all of it though. And Ochoa comes away with it.
Excellent play.
Ochoa finds Yasso. Moves this high into the air. Settled by Pekka. Collapsing on it is Coffey. And return to Palma. Oh, wow. Maybe one of his only miscues tonight.
That is true. What a great ball here. Look at that. He just, great touch and just pings it 45, 50 on a dime. It's great to see by Portillo.
And Portillo will keep it moving. Coffey finding Jack Blake. Blake's got some running room. Blake turns to Chang. Chang with a shot that's blocked. Palma couldn't get over for the rebound in time. Now SAFC's got numbers if they can get forward. That's not the best ball from Jack Blake as he gives it away there to Conrad Plua. Now Noah Powder. Back to Luis Palma.
Great defensive play back here by Mike LaHood.
Again, Real Monarchs playing a man down. They've done so since the 42nd minute when Atundi was sent off for a hard tackle on Cardoni that forced him from the match. Jonathan Miscasi's come on in his spot. Jack Blake returns it back to Ryden. Blake, Powder makes the turn. Try to return it back to Blake. Blake embellishing going down. Barmby will come the other direction.
So I'd like to see on the transition even quicker. It's okay to possess the ball, but we have an opportunity to attack. The transition needs to be a bit quicker. Mix it up a bit.
Billy Forbes will shrug off the 18-year-old Yasso there off of the far touchline. Forbes sends this all across. Job by Billy to keep that one in play and get it over to Brian Gomez. Finds Pirano inside the area. Pirano makes the turn. Going to open up. That shot attempt blocked. LaHood returns to Billy Forbes, edge of the box. Fumbled a little bit of the touch here and then gives it away to Yasso. Steve Yasso. It's forward here. Kyle Coffey. Back for Yasso. Looks in the direction there of Chang upfield, battling Yarrow for the ball. With a quarter hour remaining in this match, San Antonio up a goal, 2-1 at home against the Monarchs squad playing with 10 men. SAFC gunning for their 7th win of the season. Extend their unbeaten streak to 5 matches. Monarchs hasn't suffered a loss in their last 7 matches. Palma. Get on to the end of this one here by the touchline. Palma sends it back in Coffey's direction, but behind him. Khan will send it upfield for Jack Barmby and return back to Pekka. The Monarchs, which had been getting 2 forward, now settling back into a 4-4-1 here. Having to defend a little bit. Probably more than they want to, but again, the disadvantageous position of being a man down here for the final 15 minutes. Certainly can't afford to concede a 3rd goal. That would pretty much put the screws in this one for SAFC. LaHood. Pirano. Yarrow. Billy Forbes. Running on Yasso. Forbes turns the 18-year-old inside out. Great recovery by Yasso, though. And upfield, Portillo finds Jack Blake. Switching the play over to Luis Palma.
I'm enjoying the matchup over here, seeing the 18-year-older against Billy Forbes. It's fun to watch.
And another youngster, Julian Vasquez. 18-year-old homegrown product getting ready to come on here. The third and final substitute for Real Monarchs. Chang gonna make the turn, dispossessed there from Yarrow. Oh, Chang nearly took it right off Akan's feet there, but Akan so smooth, keeping it moving forward here for Jack Barmby. Barmby with a giveaway. He's got to recover here because Jack Blake was ready to press forward here.
Very good run by Frank Lopez. He's still making these darting runs, trying to get behind, just not quite the execution.
Portillo to Jack Blake. Blake. And in the return ball back from Palma. Blake, edge of the 18. Oh, slips it through to Chang. Chang with an attempt and a great save from Viscasi.
Wow, that's actually a pretty good save. He has time to get his hips around the ball and try and bend it in with his left foot.
A great find from Jack Blake. Dead on there from Michael Chang. And parried out by Jonathan Viscasi. Will set up the corner here for Real Monarchs. San Antonio FC getting set to make their second substitute of the night, Walter Restrepo. He's getting loose here over in front of the fourth official. Meanwhile, Portillo, the outswinger here, will take the corner for Real Monarchs. Sends it to the top of the 6-yard box, lands down inside the 6. Goes out, and another corner here coming up for Monarchs.
How did he even get this header off?
So Portillo will do it again. Another good ball. Plua gets up. Volley it down properly as it's cleared out. Powder keeps it moving to Luis Palma out wide. Defended by Barmby. Palma finds Jack Blake. Blake cuts it inside. Kyle Coffey returning to Blake. Out wide it comes as Chang makes the move, returns it. Yasso clips it into the box. Did that go off Kai Green or no, it did not. It'll be a goal kick.
Wow, this team is really playing with a lot of confidence. I'd like to see a captain, perhaps Pekka, Barmby, our players with experience to start making some adjustments and try and pick up this game, the tempo of this game.
10 minutes or so remaining. Walter Restrepo will come on for Brian Gomez here in the 80th minute. Restrepo will make his 13th appearance. Brian Gomez leaves after getting the scoring started tonight in the 15th minute with his 4th goal of the season. As we mentioned, he's getting himself back into form after suffering an injury in Fresno and logged some really good minutes tonight.
He did. A lot of great crosses. You can tell him and Frank Lopez are definitely on the same page.
So as we go into the final 10 minutes, it remains a 2-1 match. SAFC again looking for the 7th win of the season. Julian Vasquez, his first touch since coming on as well. Vasquez. It's Kyle Coffey, return to Noah Powder. To the back post. Ooh, that ball had some spin on it.
Wow, I saw that coming. I knew he was going to hit it. That ball had a wicked spin. He hit that clean.
It was intended to the back post, and all of a sudden it cut back to the inside, and fortunate for Jonathan Viscasi, it was airmailed over the bar.
I'm really impressed with all these young players. It's really a lot of fun to see.
And another youngster, Jose Gallegos, getting set to come in for SAFC, 17 years old. This be again, it'll be a night of teenagers here at Toyota Field. It's really the way the game has started to go. Tough to be an old man in this business these days.
It's definitely a youthful sport, that's for sure.
They're going to foul here. Looks like Piranha was initially fouled. They played the advantage. And now a yellow is going to be assessed here on Conrad Plua. It will. Plua into the books of the 82nd minute.
I'm looking forward to seeing Gallegos come come in and make a difference here.
Come on for Jack Barmby. Now, let's see who he comes on for. Like it was initially, he was going to come on for Barmby. Now he is going to come on for Barmby. So Plua, Sesti yellow, Gallegos is on for Jack Barmby. I don't think Jack realizes it just yet.
I think he did, and he doesn't want to come off.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Jack also working himself back into form, too, after suffering a bit of a lower body injury. Replaced by Jose Gallegos. Will make his 9th appearance of the season. Barmby leaves with SAFC on top by 1, 2-1 here with 8 minutes or so remaining. Billy Forbes. Forbes upstairs! Billy Forbes, well done! San Antonio FC has made it a 3-1 line.
Wow, where did that come from? Absolutely no angle. And he just bombs away. I like to see a replay. He really hit that clean.
Billy's 3rd goal of the season. And after Frank Lopez gave it back to him, Billy with that powerful left foot goes upstairs and in over Ochoa, and no doubt about it.
He didn't even take a look across. He had one thing in mind. I'm going to strike it. But that goal has started from Frank Lopez, putting himself in a position to give a 1-2. Well done, Billy. It's great.
And the fans in San Antonio come to their feet here in appreciation of the club's efforts. As whatever doubt may have lingered here at Toyota Field probably was just extinguished by that rocket underneath the bar from Billy Forbes.
That's well said, Dan.
Jack Blake to Kyle Coffey to Jack Blake upstairs, and Viscasi, the acrobatics.
Wow.
Parries that one out.
Really good soccer by Real. I mean, great save to finish that sequence off. Wow, he really got up in the air.
It was taken well by Jack Blake. He's got 5 goals this season, and 6th corner of the night coming up for Monarchs.
Perfect view from a goalkeeper standpoint. You can see how he was obstructed from the view, so he had to react quick.
We'll do that again from the far corner stick as mentioned. Jonathan Viscasi. He's not your ordinary backup. Portillo. Oh, what a great job getting up there, and Monarchs looking to put it in. They cannot.
Wow, 2 great reaction saves. And a clearance off the line. This is what I was talking about, his cat-like reactions. Watch this. This should be a definite goal. And then a second one. Unbelievable clearance. Who was it that cleared it?
That would be Kai Green.
Great acrobatic, athletic play.
Some impressive defending down the stretch for San Antonio FC. After Billy Forbes gave them a 2-goal lead, Real Monarchs came right back down the field and really made it a 1-goal game once again. Noah Powder.
Excellent tackle.
Jack Blake. Julian Vasquez. Vasquez trapped in the corner. And trying to spin his way out of it. It'll get the foul call to Walter Restrepo.
Another great left-footed player here.
Portillo go quickly on the reset here. Restrepo will peel back. Man, you got to watch Conrad Plua at 6'3". He's been getting up on a lot of these balls that have been served in by Portillo here over the last few minutes.
I think he's headed the last 3 or 4, Dan. He's you can see him trying to jockey for position in the middle, but he's a force to be reckoned with. He really is.
Big center back, ring number 56. Conrad Plua, that's kind of where Portillo's been looking for here. Try and find him again to the 88th minute. This is a low ball that came through. It was defended out. Will be a corner.
At first, it doesn't seem like a good ball, but it really is because there's so much traffic there.
Yeah, you're just looking. Goalkeeper. You're looking for any deflection,
exactly.
Really. Portillo to that back post, but that's taken well by Viscasi. He'll bring it down. And San Antonio FC here in the driver's seat of the 88th minute. Although still receiving pressure from Monarchs, they're gunning now for their 7th win and about to put themselves potentially over the playoff line here tonight, depending on results from other matches. They'd be at 27 points if this scoreline holds here in the last few minutes. There are a lot of teams that were sitting on 26 points, including the one team they were chasing, an OKC Energy FC. It was underway tonight in Tacoma, Washington, against Tacoma United. Viscasi. Morano settles. Lopez. And a foul. Ryden served a yellow card here. Well, should San Antonio FC hold on this scoreline, they'd be at, again, 27 points. They would be sitting in playoff position. Again, pending outcomes from OKC Energy FC and Orange County.
It's never good to be at the mercy of other teams, Dan. But I truly believe that they will, at the rate they're going, I really believe they will solidify a playoff spot.
They continue to keep up this good run of form here. Going to make it 3 wins in their last 5 matches with 2 draws added onto that one. And they've got another big match coming up next Saturday night against Sacramento Republic FC. And they owe that team a little bit of payback after Republic served them a 2-0 victory in California. And Parado will put the finishing touches on this one. Or Gallegos, rather, will put the finishing touches on this one.
Great to see the youngster in the right spot, and that was a great finish. He's calling, what are they, he's trying to call offsides?
I think he's calling offside, you're right.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Wait.
No goal. They are going to call the offside flag, so return it to a 3-1 line.
Wow, where was the offside? Oh, he's saying obstruction from the player. The goalkeeper's obstructed. Let's see the replay here.
A foul on Restrepo here as we're already in stoppage time. With just a couple of minutes added on, San Antonio FC just looking to see out the remaining minutes of this one before pocketing their 7th victory. Would have been nice to see Gallegos get a second. He'll certainly be happy with SAFC to take the 3 points as Viscasi comes up with another save on Justin Portillo there. That's hard to see where, if it indeed was obstruction, where the obstruction was.
It looked like a clean goal to me. Wow.
Clipped in by Vasquez, turned out by Yarrow.
Such a dangerous ball he just played in.
We talked about Josh Yarrow earlier, and has anybody played as good a soccer as Josh Yarrow has over the last couple of months of the regular season?
It seems like his name keeps coming up after every game. He's just so consistent, and that's what you want from a fullback. He's very steady.
Again, Sacramento Republic comes to town next Saturday night. We'll have that for you here on Fox Sports Southwest at 7:30. Then it'll be off to Reno, and then it'll be back home here for 2 more matches. Gabe, as San Antonio will welcome in New Mexico United and also Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, another good opportunity to grab some points.
With Sacramento and New Mexico and Reno, those are 3 teams that San Antonio FC is chasing, as Billy Forbes trying to shake away from the defender, cannot. And for your chance to be an SAFC ball kid at a match this season, it's the Chick-fil-A Ball Kid Sweepstakes. Includes 4 tickets to the match, Chick-fil-A for a year. To enter, go to safc.com/ballkidsweeps. In the closing seconds of this one, as San Antonio will pick up their 3rd win all-time against Real Monarchs SLC, and improve to 3 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw against the USL affiliate of Real Salt Lake. But not without taking all that the Monarchs had to give them tonight, playing with 10 men for the final 48 minutes of this match, Gabe.
Without a doubt, this game it was much closer than the score
Billy
indicates.
looking for 2 and turns it wide.
I'm really impressed, as I mentioned earlier, with this team. It's great to see these young players, and combine it all, they have such enthusiasm. They're not afraid, and they have a lot of poise for their age.
And we'll just keep that Western Conference table a little bit more congested, as SAFC will pull to within 1 of Real Monarchs SLC. And that is how it will end tonight, as San Antonio picks up their 7th win of the season, their 6th here at home. They are unbeaten in their last 5 in USL play, and their rise up the Western Conference table continues as they put themselves above the playoff line for the first time since April, as Frank Lopez, in his Toyota Field debut, ends up scoring the game winner, his 3rd goal in 3 matches since joining SAFC from LA Galaxy 2.
Yeah, it was great to see. As we mentioned earlier, he really is a difference maker. I think he's changed a lot of the momentum and the psychology of the team.
Ryan Gomez getting his 4th of the year. Billy Forbes getting his 3rd of the season to put it away. The 84th minute, San Antonio FC beats Real Monarchs SLC 3-1. Your club season continues next Saturday night. They'll take on Sacramento Republic. Kickoff is at 7:30. You can get your tickets now at SanAntonioFC.com. Now for Gabe Garcia and our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss, thanking you for joining us tonight. Once again, our final from Toyota Field, San Antonio FC 3, Real Monarchs SLC 1. This has been a presentation of the USL and Spurs Sports and Entertainment. So long, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
Wahoo!